What if your life is a record stuck on repeat? A program running the same failures and frustrations over and over? These loops aren't random glitches. They're holding you back, obscuring the life you're truly meant to live, the potential you're designed to fulfill. Think about it. Do you keep attracting the same type of toxic partner, no matter how hard you try to break the cycle? Does your career feel like a never-ending climb, only to find yourself sliding back to square one? Are you perpetually battling anxiety, despite your best efforts to find peace? These aren't just isolated incidents or unfortunate coincidences. They might be symptoms of something far more insidious. A subtle but pervasive time loop programming, where external influences or deeply ingrained internal beliefs are subtly shaping your reality, dictating your choices, and limiting your possibilities. The programming may not be some literal, sci-fi scenario, but rather the culmination of societal norms, manipulative media narratives, and the insidious voice of internalized self-doubt that whispers in the back of your mind, holding you captive within a prison of your own making. Let's establish a foundational pattern recognition framework to start breaking free. Consider those common, repeating patterns. Constant financial instability despite earning a decent income, the inability to maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships, or those cycles of burnout and exhaustion that leave you feeling drained and hopeless. Take a moment to identify just one recurring negative pattern in your own life, a loop that seems to play out again and again, regardless of your conscious efforts to change it. Maybe you're consistently passed over for promotions, despite possessing all the qualifications and experience required. Or perhaps you start every creative project with enthusiasm, only to find yourself self-sabotaging before reaching the finish line. These patterns are clues, breadcrumbs leading to a deeper understanding of how your reality is being shaped, molded, and subtly controlled. What if our perceived reality is engineered? Now, consider the possibility that hidden agendas or manipulative influences are shaping our perceptions and choices without our conscious awareness. Think about the algorithms that curate our social media feeds, feeding us a carefully crafted diet of information designed to reinforce existing beliefs. Ponder the media narratives that subtly promote fear, division, and compliance. Reflect upon the societal expectations that pressure us to conform to certain roles and behaviors, often at the expense of our own authenticity and well-being. What role do these play in perpetuating these loops? The significance of understanding these time loops is immense. Recognizing and breaking free from them is not just a matter of personal convenience. It's essential for achieving true personal freedom, unlocking your full potential, and living a life of purpose and joy. Imagine finally escaping the cycle of debt, achieving genuine financial independence, and pursuing your passions without the constant fear of failure. Envision building healthy, loving relationships based on mutual respect and genuine connection, rather than repeating the same patterns of conflict and heartbreak. Think of breaking free from those self-imposed limitations, rediscovering your creativity, and making a meaningful contribution to the world. But the impact extends far beyond the individual. Widespread programming can lead to a collective loss of autonomy and creativity, creating a society of compliant, easily controlled individuals who are unable to think for themselves or challenge the status quo. A manipulated population is far easier to control. Social media echo chambers reinforce limiting beliefs on a massive scale, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of division and conflict. Understanding the mechanisms behind these loops unlocks access to hidden knowledge about the very nature of reality and our own untapped potential. What if you could consciously shape your experiences, manifest your desires, and live a life of limitless possibility? Developing abilities to consciously shape our experiences starts with awareness. Consider this video a guide, a map to empower you to become conscious creators of your own lives, rewriting your personal timeline and breaking free from those limiting narratives. This is a quest for truth, a journey of self-discovery, a chance to reclaim your power and design a future that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations. You have the potential to rewrite your personal timeline. Let's metaphorically introduce the concept of FBI files. Think of declassified information, both literal and metaphorical, as containing crucial clues about the methods of social control and manipulation that have been used throughout history. The FBI files serve as a symbolic representation of hidden knowledge, revealing the strategies employed by those who seek to influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Consider historical cases of propaganda, psychological warfare, and social engineering, all meticulously documented and analyzed. These files offer a glimpse behind the curtain, exposing the techniques used to shape public opinion, control dissent, and maintain the status quo. The rabbit hole goes deeper than you may think. Consider some specific programming techniques. The subtle art of media manipulation, the insidious power of subliminal messaging in advertising, and the use of predictive algorithms to influence our behavior. Imagine manipulative news headlines designed to evoke fear and anxiety, pushing a specific agenda while bypassing our critical thinking faculties. Envision targeted advertising campaigns that exploit our insecurities and desires, enticing us to buy products we don't need with money we don't have. These programming techniques can create self-fulfilling prophecies by shaping our beliefs, expectations, and behaviors. Think about the power of suggestion and the well-documented placebo effect, where our beliefs can directly influence our physical health and well-being. Consider how negative news about the economy can lead to decreased consumer spending, ultimately contributing to a self-fulfilling recession. Let's lay the groundwork for pattern identification, exploring some concrete examples of common recurring patterns in people's lives. Repeated career failures, despite talent and effort, toxic relationships that follow a predictable cycle of drama and heartbreak, or persistent health problems that seem to defy conventional medical treatment. Ask yourself, what patterns in your own life feel like loops, replaying the same negative scenarios over and over again? Perhaps you consistently sabotage your own success due to a deeply ingrained fear of failure, or maybe you find yourself attracted to the same type of emotionally unavailable partner, despite consciously desiring a healthy, loving relationship. These recurring patterns hold the key to unlocking the programming that's shaping your reality. Who or what might be behind these manipulations, and what are their underlying motives? Are these the result of malevolent forces seeking to control and exploit humanity, or are they simply the unintended consequences of a complex and chaotic world? Perhaps there are both malevolent and benevolent forces at play, each vying for influence over our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Consider the possibility of a shadow government or elite controllers manipulating world events from behind the scenes. All theories are on the table. While acknowledging the speculative nature of these theories, it is critical to consider the evidence and draw your own conclusions. Actively look for recurring patterns in your own life and in the world around you. Keep a journal to track your thoughts, feelings, and events, noting any recurring themes or synchronicities that seem to defy coincidence. Pay attention to your dreams, as they often reveal hidden patterns and unresolved issues. Are you experiencing similar themes in your dreams or recurring synchronicities? As you become more attuned to these patterns, you'll begin to see the programming that's shaping your reality with increasing clarity. There are specific techniques and practices that can be used to rewrite these time loops and reclaim control over your destiny. We'll explore tools like affirmations, visualization, and shadow work, offering a promise of empowerment and transformation, giving you the keys to unlock your full potential and create a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Let's unpack specific examples of documented societal programming techniques. Think about the declassified documents related to MK Ultra, the CIA's mind control program. These aren't just dusty relics of a bygone era. They are chilling reminders of how far governments are willing to go to manipulate human consciousness. Consider the experiments involving sensory deprivation, hypnosis, and the administration of psychedelic drugs, all aimed at breaking down an individual's sense of self and implanting new beliefs or behaviors. These experiments, often conducted without the knowledge or consent of the subjects, reveal a disturbing disregard for human autonomy and a willingness to treat individuals as mere puppets. The files expose not only the unethical nature of these projects, but also the underlying psychological principles that make them effective. What can we learn from these historical atrocities about the vulnerabilities of the human mind and the techniques used to exploit them? Project Mockingbird, another declassified program, illustrates how the CIA infiltrated the media to disseminate propaganda and shape public opinion. This operation involved planting stories in newspapers and television networks, effectively turning journalists into unwitting agents of the government. Now, consider how the information gleaned from Project Mockingbird connects to modern media manipulation tactics. The news outlets shape narratives, subtly influencing our perceptions of reality, guiding our fears, and directing our outrage. This creates a cycle of fear and compliance, where individuals are constantly bombarded with messages designed to keep them in a state of anxiety and dependence. The algorithms amplify these messages, creating echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced and conformity is rewarded. Think about the power of repetition and the way certain narratives are endlessly repeated across different media platforms. How do these tactics reinforce the status quo and limit our ability to think critically and independently? The manipulation isn't always overt. It often operates at a subconscious level, shaping our beliefs and values without our conscious awareness. Let's acknowledge the psychological principles at play, the underpinnings of how this manipulation is so effective. Classical and operant conditioning are at the heart of many societal programming techniques. Classical conditioning involves associating a neutral stimulus with a positive or negative one, creating a conditioned response. Think about how advertisers use attractive models and catchy jingles to associate their products with feelings of pleasure and desire. Operant conditioning, on the other hand, involves using rewards and punishments to shape behavior. Consider how social media platforms use likes and shares to reinforce certain types of content, encouraging users to conform to popular trends and express socially acceptable opinions. Cognitive biases further amplify the effects of these techniques. Confirmation bias leads us to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs, while the availability heuristic makes us overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled. How do these biases make us more susceptible to manipulation and less likely to question the narratives we are presented with? The psychology of propaganda is a complex field that explores the various techniques used to influence public opinion. These include name-calling, glittering generalities, and bandwagon appeals, all designed to bypass our rational faculties and appeal to our emotions. It's vital to recognize how these techniques are often used in combination to create a self-reinforcing loop of control. The concept of manufactured consent, popularized by Noam Chomsky, explains how the media and other institutions shape public opinion to support the interests of the powerful elite. By controlling the flow of information and limiting the range of acceptable viewpoints, they create a society where individuals are effectively consenting to their own subjugation. Consider the impact of targeted advertising combined with social media echo chambers. These tactics reinforce consumerism and limit critical thinking, creating a culture where individuals are defined by their possessions and constantly striving to acquire more. How does this cycle of consumption contribute to environmental destruction, social inequality, and a general sense of dissatisfaction and emptiness? The constant barrage of advertising messages normalizes materialism and encourages us to compare ourselves to others, fueling a sense of inadequacy and driving us to seek validation through external sources. But But here's the vital shift we need to consider. If these techniques are so effective, why are so many people waking up to them? The growing awareness of misinformation and the rise of independent media are testaments to the human spirit's resilience and the inherent desire for truth. The internet, while susceptible to manipulation, has also become a powerful tool for disseminating alternative perspectives and challenging the dominant narratives. The growing distrust of mainstream media and the increasing popularity of independent news sources suggest that people are becoming more discerning consumers of information and less willing to blindly accept what they are told. Consider the role of whistleblowers and investigative journalists who risk their careers and even their lives to expose wrongdoing and shed light on hidden agendas. Their courage and dedication serve as a reminder that truth will always find a way to emerge, no matter how powerful the forces arrayed against it. This awareness of societal programming transitions us to the realm of personal time loops. Societal conditioning leads to internalized limiting beliefs that create recurring patterns of negative experiences in individuals' lives. The inner critic, that insidious voice that whispers doubts and criticisms, sabotages our success and prevents us from achieving our full potential. Societal pressure to conform can lead to a fear of failure, preventing individuals from pursuing their passions and expressing their unique talents. This, in turn, leads to a sense of unfulfillment and a belief that they are not living up to their true potential. Think of it as a self-imposed prison, where individuals are trapped by their own limiting beliefs and unable to break free from the expectations and judgments of others. How can we silence this inner critic and cultivate a sense of self-acceptance and self-compassion? The first step is to recognize that this voice is not our own, but rather a product of societal conditioning and internalized negativity. By challenging its assumptions and reframing its criticisms, we can begin to dismantle its power and create space for a more positive and empowering inner dialogue. Let's explore the limiting beliefs related to self-worth, relationships, career, and health. These beliefs act as invisible barriers, preventing us from achieving our goals and living fulfilling lives. Consider someone who believes they are not worthy of love and consistently attracts toxic partners. This belief can manifest in a variety of ways, such as choosing partners who are emotionally unavailable, tolerating abusive behavior, or sabotaging healthy relationships due to a fear of intimacy. The underlying belief that they are not good enough creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, where their relationships consistently reinforce their negative self-image. Similarly, someone who believes they are not capable of success may consistently procrastinate, self-sabotage, or give up easily when faced with challenges. This belief can stem from a variety of sources, such as childhood experiences, negative feedback from authority figures, or a general lack of confidence. How can we challenge these deeply ingrained beliefs and create new, more empowering narratives about ourselves? The key is to recognize that our beliefs are not fixed truths, but rather choices that we can consciously change. By identifying our limiting beliefs and consciously choosing to replace them with more positive and empowering ones, we can begin to rewrite our personal timelines and create a more fulfilling future. These limiting beliefs often stem from childhood experiences, trauma, and negative self-talk. Growing up in a critical environment can lead to a belief that one is never good enough. Trauma can create deep-seated fears and insecurities that manifest as limiting beliefs. Negative self-talk reinforces these beliefs, creating a vicious cycle of self-doubt and self-sabotage. It's like a computer program constantly running in the background, dictating our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. How can we rewrite this program and create a more positive and empowering inner dialogue? The answer lies in cultivating self-awareness, practicing self-compassion, and consciously challenging the negative thoughts and beliefs that hold us back. This requires a willingness to confront our past traumas, heal our emotional wounds, and develop a more loving and accepting relationship with ourselves. Intergenerational trauma creates repeating cycles of dysfunction. Unresolved trauma passes down through generations, creating patterns of abuse, addiction, or mental illness. A family with a history of alcoholism repeats the cycle as each generation struggles with addiction. Consider how unresolved trauma can be transmitted through subtle cues and behaviors, even without direct communication. Children can internalize the unspoken fears, anxieties, and limiting beliefs of their parents, perpetuating the cycle of dysfunction. Recognizing and addressing intergenerational trauma is essential for breaking free from these repeating patterns and creating a healthier future for ourselves and our descendants. But how do we begin to heal from the wounds of the past and create a more positive legacy for future generations? The answer lies in acknowledging the impact of trauma, seeking professional help if needed, and consciously choosing to break the cycle of dysfunction. So, as we've journeyed together, we've explored the possibility that our lives aren't simply a series of random events, but that we are subject to both external and internal programming, creating what feels like repeating patterns. These patterns aren't arbitrary. They're potentially engineered through the manipulation of media, the insidious nature of limiting beliefs, and the unseen chains of intergenerational trauma. Remember, the simple act of awareness is the first and most powerful step toward dismantling these constructs and seizing back control of your narrative. Recognizing these patterns, whether they manifest in societal trends or personal struggles, is like deciphering the very code that governs your perceived reality. Think of yourself as a skilled computer programmer, meticulously debugging lines of code to identify and correct errors. Journaling and self-reflection are your diagnostic tools, allowing you to uncover the hidden scripts that are running in the background of your mind. As you peel back the layers of programming, you may be shocked to realize how much of your life has been dictated by forces outside of your conscious control. But with each pattern you identify and correct, you reclaim a piece of your power and move closer to living a life of authentic self-expression. Ultimately, even as external forces attempt to shape your thoughts and behaviors, you possess the inherent ability to choose your own beliefs and construct your own reality. Embrace the concept of neuroplasticity, that your brain is not fixed but malleable, capable of rewiring itself with new thoughts and experiences. As quantum entanglement suggests, your thoughts and actions have a profound impact on the world around you. This is the time to consciously choose the beliefs that empower you, align with your values, and support your highest aspirations. Step into the awareness that you are not a passive victim of programming, but an active co-creator of your experiences. Acknowledge your power, embrace your responsibility, and reframe any perceived time loops as opportunities for profound growth and radical transformation. Now, stepping back, consider the broader context. Your personal journey of breaking free from programming ripples outward, carrying the potential to transform the larger societal landscape. Imagine a critical mass of conscious individuals, each awakened to their own power and committed to creating a more positive and just world. It is within reach to create global peace, abundance, and sustainability. Your commitment to self-discovery is not just a personal act, it is a contribution to the collective consciousness. The more individuals who awaken, the more challenging it becomes for manipulative forces to maintain their grip on society. By taking control of your own mind, you are helping to create a more free and equitable world for all. These repeating patterns are not just personal quirks, they are reflections of deeper societal and even universal principles. Consider the concept of archetypes, those universal patterns of behavior and symbolism that manifest in our lives and in collective narratives. By understanding these archetypes, you gain a new lens through which to view the world, recognizing the underlying themes and patterns that shape human experience. You may begin to see familiar characters and storylines repeating themselves throughout history, literature, and even your own personal life. This awareness allows you to transcend the limitations of your individual perspective and connect to something larger than yourself. This heightened awareness allows you to navigate the complexities of life with greater clarity and wisdom. What if understanding these principles can lead to a more profound understanding of reality itself? Consider the idea that reality may be a simulation, a holographic projection, or some other form of constructed experience. Refer back to the Matrix film and the understanding of what is real. While these ideas may seem far-fetched, they invite you to question the very nature of your existence and to explore the possibility that there is more to reality than meets the eye. Regardless of whether reality is ultimately real or simulated, the principles of conscious creation and personal empowerment still apply. By taking control of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, you can shape your experience and create a more fulfilling life, regardless of the underlying nature of reality. See yourself as part of a larger, interconnected web of consciousness. Cultivate compassion, empathy, and a sense of shared responsibility. Recognize that your thoughts, feelings, and actions have a ripple effect, impacting not only your own life, but the lives of others as well. Consider what you've heard about quantum entanglement, where particles are connected in such a way that they share the same fate, no matter how far apart they are. Embrace the understanding that we are all interconnected, and that by healing ourselves, we are also contributing to the healing of the world. This interconnectedness calls you to act with kindness, generosity, and a deep sense of responsibility for the well-being of all. So, let's return to the initial question. What if you feel stuck in a time loop? The resolution is clear. By understanding the programming that has shaped your life, you can rewrite your personal timeline. Remember those success stories of individuals who have broken free from negative patterns, transforming their lives and inspiring others along the way. The tools exist: affirmations, visualization, shadow work, and many other techniques are available to support you on your journey. Commit to the process without expecting overnight results. Transformation is a journey, not a destination, and requires consistent effort and dedication. Believe in your capacity for growth and healing, and trust that you have the power to create a more fulfilling future. Ultimately, it all comes down to this: embracing your innate power. Commit to using affirmations, practice visualization, and delve into shadow work to integrate the hidden aspects of yourself. Remember that lasting change requires dedication, so commit to the processes without fixating on immediate results. This is not about striving for perfection, but about embracing your imperfections and working towards your highest potential. You have the power within you to break free from the program and create a life that is aligned with your true values and aspirations. As we draw to a close, let's address some of the questions we posed along the way. Can we truly escape the clutches of societal programming? Yes, through awareness, critical thinking, and conscious action. Is it possible to heal from the wounds of intergenerational trauma? Absolutely, with compassion, support, and a willingness to break the cycle. Can we create our own realities? Indeed, by aligning our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with our desired outcomes. Remember that these answers may not be complete or definitive, but they offer a starting point for your own personal exploration. The journey of self-discovery is a lifelong process, and there is always more to learn and explore. Remember that you possess an incredible power within you. Know that you have the strength to overcome any obstacle, rewrite any negative pattern, and create a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. This doesn't have to be the end of your journey. It can be a powerful beginning. Embrace your potential, trust your intuition, and step into the world with courage and authenticity. The future is not predetermined. It is a blank canvas waiting for you to paint your vision upon it. But what if we could consciously access and manipulate the source code of reality itself? Teasing you with the possibility of developing advanced abilities like remote viewing, telekinesis, or even time travel. Do not dismiss it outright, but rather approach these possibilities with an open and curious mind. The exploration of consciousness is still in its infancy, and there is much that we do not yet understand. The pursuit of knowledge and understanding can lead to profound discoveries and unexpected breakthroughs. Imagine the potential for creating entirely new realities, both individually and collectively. Think about creating intentional communities based on principles of consciousness and collaboration, where individuals come together to co-create a more harmonious and sustainable way of life. Freedom is attainable, but it's not free. It requires conscious effort, unwavering commitment, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Step into the awareness of the infinite possibilities that lie before you and embrace the opportunity to create a world that reflects your highest values and aspirations. Continue exploring these ideas. Subscribe to the channel, share this video with others, and engage in discussions. Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. What are your experiences with breaking free from programming? What techniques have you found most helpful? Your insights and perspectives are valuable and can contribute to the collective understanding of these complex topics. In future videos, we'll delve deeper into specific aspects of conscious creation, exploring advanced manifestation techniques, delving into the nature of consciousness, and uncovering hidden knowledge from ancient traditions. There are more FBI files to be revealed and even more techniques to discover. Continue your exploration, stay curious, and never stop questioning the nature of reality. The journey of self-discovery is an ongoing adventure, and the possibilities are limitless.